Right. So in the last class, we already started one important problem regarding, or one important concept regarding of your crane hook. So I'll let explain how we consider or how we calculated the basic concepts of your uh, crane hook problem especially. So in a crane hook problem, as I already told you that we are having a various number of cross section. So we have considered one cross section of trapezium, and based on those trapezium we derived the equation, right? So by considering the example of trapezium, so we already calculated the stress value, that is compressive stress and tensile stress value, and those tensile stress and compressive stress values are depends upon your uh, the magnitude of your P by A, right? Right. So after that, you can calculate the resultant stress value. So resultant stress value means direct stress plus your bending moment value, bending moment equation. So what we derived in your LA classes. So that is the first part, right? So we already studied, I mean, we already discussed one problem, one standard problem, and asked you to solve the problem step by step procedure, right? So asked you to solve the problem step by step. I don't know how many of you have tried. I don't know how many of you have tried for that particular problem. If at all, if you have tried, then it is very happiest thing, Amma. Otherwise, so there is no, what we call, there is no other path. So just we have to simply the basic steps as it is what we try to explain here, right? Right. So in this class, Amma, we try to derive the, I mean, we try to solve the problems, at least one or two problems. Those problems are already we came across in your earlier classes. Just for reference only, we discussed it here. You please remember that. Only one part is additional part, remaining thing is common. I hope you understand, right? So we try to discuss one or two problems here so that we try to wind up, Amma. Okay. Anyway, fine. Now, so we already discussed, I mean, we already studied one problem regarding of your crane hook, and the crane hook contains what type of cross section here? It is a trapezoidal cross section, right? So it is a trapezoidal cross section as we observe, as you're observing in the figure, right on your screens. So it is a trapezoidal cross section, and here you are having some notations are there. So notations means simply you are having section AA and CC are the trapezoidal cross section, and from P2, I mean from central axis you are having eccentricity, and the eccentricity is equal to your R value, there is radius of curvature. So R value equal to E here, right? External load P and at a distance of E. Same distance E represents your radius of curvature also in this particular figure. So R equal to E. That is the basic point you have to remember. R equal to E. From the figure, this is the observation. From the figure, this is the observation. Now draw the trapezoidal cross section. Now draw trapezoidal cross section. Right? Now draw the trapezoidal cross section. Right? Now in trapezoidal cross section, please identify the suitable terms according to the trapezoidal section. Now you try to identify the suitable, dimensions according to your given data. That is your B1 value, B2 value, D value, and your what we called R values and all those things. So same calculation as that of your previous problem. We already solved this model in your previous section. I mean in your previous class also. Same trapezoidal section, same procedure. But the orientation will change, but the procedure will not change. Only orientation change. I hope you understand. The notations are same and everything is same. Everything is same. Only you will observe the difference in orientation. That is the only difference. I hope everybody is understanding, and I hope everyone is following. Right. Now you please try to calculate. So as usual procedure, Amma. So whenever you are having a standard cross section of your trapezoidal cross section. So whenever you are having a standard cross section It may be any type. It may be a rectangle, or it may be a trapezium, or it may be a circular. Whatever the type of cross section, you please try to find out the value of standard value of h square. Standard value of h square that is available. This value is available in your derivation. While you are deriving the equation for trapezium, you know the value of h square. Please pick the value or pick the formula from the derivation. Right? So from the derivation, you pick the value of h square. Write down the formula for h square. Same procedure we already followed in case of your in previous problem, while you were calculating the value of position of neutral axis and what is the maximum stress and minimum stress problem. If at all, if you are having any doubt, you please refer that particular problem. And if at all, if you're having any doubt regarding the formula of h square, you please go back to your derivation. So the notes is already circulated. So you please go back to your derivation and identify the formula of h square. And write down the formula of h square. Write down the formula of h square. Right? Write down the formula of h square. Now, what is the h square formula? Please observe on your screen the formula. H square equal to r cube by a, b2 plus b1 minus b2 into r2 by d of logarithm of e, r2 by r1 minus of b1 minus b2 of minus r square. So this is the actual formula. So I hope everyone is following and everybody is identified that particular formula. Then only you can able to solve. This is very easiest problem because you already know the, so that is the reason why I already told you that at the beginning of the section, if you know the standard cross section problem step by step, then it is easy for remaining problems. This, I mean, I already mentioned at the beginning of the classes while you were discussing the derivations. And keep on saying here, you observing, right? So here h square, for h square value for what parameter h square value calculating, it depends upon the cross section. Here the cross section is trapezium, so write down the formula for trapezium h square value directly. Right? Now you please try to write down the terminologies or terms that are involved in h square. The terms that are involved in h square. You please identify. Right. So h square value here. So h square value is what is the formula of h square here? R cube by sorry, already you know the formula. What are the terminologies? So what is the terminologies means here? R value is there, A value is there. Now we're having the terms of B1, B2, and D value, and R1 and R2 value. Now how you calculate R1 and R2 value is already explained in your previous trapezium section. So if you have any doubt, you please refer this one, Amma. Then you can easily recollect the value of R1 and R2. You can easily recollect the value of R1 and R2 if you observe thoroughly. Right? So I hope you get the value of R1 and R2. And R value is already known. How do you get the R value here? So here the radius of curvature R value will be equal to E. Already I mentioned that. You please observe in the given figure also. It is same distance. Eccentricity. E value means eccentricity. So already you know the value of E. So if at all if you know the value of E, you can directly, if you know the value of R, you can directly substitute. But here both the values are unknown, so directly you can calculate moment of force. M value equal to P into E. M value equal to P into E. Right? Right. Now you can say that M value equal to minus P into E. Here negative value is applied. Why the negative value or negative sign we are using means here the negative sign is used as the applied load decreases the curvature of the hook. And you may having the doubts, or every time we are using the negative value. That is also you're having the doubt. So again, it depends upon the position of your external loading condition. Position of your external loading condition. Based on the position of external loading condition only, right? So I hope you understand, Amma. Based on the position of external loading condition, you may take positive sign and negative sign. Please understand when I am specifically what we call stress that particular parameter, you please understand. Then only you are not having any doubt. Otherwise, every time you are having a doubt whether you are applying a positive value or negative value. Please understand that. So that is the reason why in the bracket we specifically mentioned that the negative sign is used for the applied load as it decreases the curvature of the hook. So you know the value of P and you know the right and the distance value from E. E means you are having distance, right? So directly you can calculate. The value is here minus 249975. Minus 249975. Now you please substitute in the given relation of h square. So it is just only matter of substitution, Amma. There is no difficulty. I hope there is no difficulty. Just only substitution is required in the given formula. Each and everything is common parameters already that is available in your problem. No need to find out also. Just simply calculation of P into E value, that is sufficient. Now substitute in the given what we call given formula, h square equal to some relations you are having. You please substitute in the given relation. And finally, you will get the value of 76.8 mm square. Now finally, you will get the answer of 76.8 mm square. So it is very, very important to verify your answers once, if at all if it is wrong, you please replace those values, right? We could not say that each and every point is correct in numerical values. So you please try yourself the numerical values. If at all, if there is any change, you please replace them. You please replace these values, there is no problem. However, the values are correct, 76.8 mm square. Now directly in our second step is, you have to calculate in your given data, they're asked to find out the maximum and minimum stress. Right? So maximum minimum stress means simply you can calculate the first bending stress because you're having two types of stresses. One is the bending stress and second one is the direct stress you're having, right? So please observe that. You please observe that the given relation first, the given relation, right? Right. Now what is the formula you are having? Now what is the formula you are having? Sigma B equal to sigma into m by a into r of 1 plus r square by h square y by r plus y. This is the formula you are having. Y by r plus y. Y by r plus y. Please first note down the formula, then you can substitution means secondary thing. First write down the formula. Write down the formula is very, very important. Once if see in the examination also, it is very, very easiest to procedure. I think there is no difficulty in this problem, especially because only two formulas you are having. One is h square value and second one is the maximum stress and minimum stress. If you know the maximum stress value, second one is quite opposite, that is minimum stress value. So no need to remember. If you remember maximum stress value, that is sufficient. But thing is, write down the correct formula leads to exact answers. Right? If you are failed to write down the correct formula or identify the correct formula, then nobody should verify the remaining procedure. So if you fail in initial step, no need to verify the remaining steps. So some of you are thinking that basically it is a what we call problematic thing, so that if you write given data, they will give some marks, and if you write from formula, they will get some marks, and explanation some other marks, like that only. Please don't think like that, Amma. Please don't think like that. So we are having certain set of operations. We can say the set of operation, right? If you follow those frequency of steps, then only we will allocate marks in the examination, especially, right? So please believe that this is the actual procedure and actual steps what I explained here. If you follow these steps, then definitely you will get easily a good amount of marks in the examination. So my intention is first write down the formula correctly. Then identify the terms that are involved in the formula. If at all, if it is correct, then substitute. If there is any wrong in calculations, because sometimes we may get confused, or in calculators also we may type wrong approaches, so that we may get wrong answers. So answers which will affect only less effect in your examination if you correctly substitute and correct formula is used. So I hope you understand what I'm explaining here. So right, so there is a formula for sigma b. Sigma b equal to sigma into m by a into r, so all those things. But here you are having a doubt regarding y value sum. Here you are having a doubt regarding your y value. So here the term is y by r plus y. So whenever you are having a term, I mean the distance value here, you are having two sections. At point CC and point 8, you are having two sections. Please observe here. Please observe here, you are having two sections, trapezoidal section. A trapezoidal section CC and trapezoidal section AA. So here in the given figure also, you observe that at CC you are having a distance of D2 and at AA you are having distance of D1. Please follow the figure, then you can easily understand what values you have to consider. So what values you have to consider, you can easily understand without any difficulty. Without any difficulty, you can easily understand. So now you please observe that, suppose if we consider at section CC, what is your y value? If we consider at CC, what is your value means it is D2, central distance D2, right? Now if we consider section AA, what is your y value means D1. From the figure, it is completely from the figure, you please observe that. From the, see the dot lines here represents your dotted lines. You represent the dotted lines, it is a central axis. So I think you are following a central axis, dotted lines are central axis from the base. Base means from AA, you can assume that AA, from base means AA. AA to central axis distance is D1. AA to centroidal distance is D1. And from central axis to CC, section CC, you can say that section CC. At section CC, you are having D2. At section CC, you are having D2. Right? Now, please substitute the values of your value, I mean, at section CC and section AA. So, at place of y by r plus y, you know the value of r value 33.33 and your y value is 16.67 from CC. 16.67. Right? Now you will get the value of some value that is minus 64.67. Please verify your answer. Minus 64.67. Whenever you are having a negative value, then automatically you can assume that it is a compressive stress. Now at section AA, your stress value at section AA. Now you calculate the value of stress at AA, section AA. At section AA means the distance is here. You are having at a distance of, what is the distance you will observe? D1 distance. So minus into minus positive, you will get positive value, because already you know the behind your behind brackets you are having negative value, one negative value, and within the brackets you are having one negative value, so that both the negative values will get positive, and that you will get one positive result, that is tensile stress. That is tensile stress. So most of the problem is over if you complete this step somehow. Most of the problem is over if you completed this particular step. So this is very, very important, especially for trapezoidal section. So remaining sections are also very, very important, but you may, this is one of the very typical section as we observe. And some of the students may observe that as it is a typical section. So if you have, if you practice of this kind of section, that is sufficient. So these are the standard procedures we are having. So first we R1, R2, and D1 and D2 are plays very, very important role in order to get satisfactory result of your problem. If you are failed to calculate D1 and D2, because D1 and D2 plays very, very important role in order to find out the values of Y, in order to know whether it is a compressive stress and tensile stresses. Uh, it not completely depends, but the Y values are very, very important as it is sections of A and CC, as it is measured from your central axis, so that the Y value is very, very important. The Y value is very, very important here. In order to get the Y values means you must know the value of D1 and D2. D1 and D2. Now, so after having of, so we are having two types of stresses we are experiencing. One is the bending stress and one is the direct stress, right? So till now we calculate the bending stress value. Now you calculate the direct stress value. So direct stress value means you are having load condition, external loading condition P by A. A means area of the cross section here. So while you're calculating the area of cross section again, you please go back to your formula, area of section here. So area of section here, A equal to B1 plus B2 by 2 into D. So direct formula, area of A equal to B1 plus B2 by 2 into D. So that is direct formula you are having. So once if you know the direct formula means you can directly calculate the remaining things. Load by area, apply the formula of load by area. You will get the exact answer. So here load by area, that is 11.11 Newton per mm square. So as I told you that P by, value depends upon the P by A, depending upon your tensile or compressive loading condition. If it is a P by A is positive value, you will get tensile, and P by A is negative means it is a compressive. Right? So this is up to this you are having, I think most of the problem is over, Amma. Then next step is directly you can calculate the resultant stress. Resultant stress means sigma R equal to sigma naught plus your sigma M. That means your sigma value. You can say that sigma value, sigma bending stress values. So this is how you supposed to solve the problems, whatever the cross section is given. So in the textbook, we are having various number of, because we already discussed about one trapezoidal section. And the next one is we try to discuss about the circular section also. And if you cover trapezoidal, circular sections and I section, if possible I section also. So if at all, if you cover of all those three sections, and you can able to cover the what we call the rectangle section and triangle section, only two are left, so that you can easily practice up those sections. Same procedure, easiest procedures, right? Okay, fine. Now move on to the next slide. So you are having so resultant stress means we are having two layers, layers of section A and section CC. So you can directly apply the formula direct stress equal to sigma naught plus sigma A and sigma naught plus sigma CC, right? So calculate of those stress values. So that means resultant stress at the section AA and resultant stress at section CC. So after obtaining of these results, directly what we call your answer is over. Answer is over. So this is how you supposed to calculate. This is how you supposed to calculate. So this is very, very, very important procedure. So remaining some of plotting a graph is very easiest procedure. I hope you are having. Otherwise, please observe the plotting stresses. Please observe after having of this session. Please observe the plotting of stresses. You can easily follow up those steps, because already we discussed this problem of how we plotting the stresses in your previous classes of rectangle section. So no need to worry again explaining the same thing, right? But previous steps are very, very important. Why? Because means we are having two types of stress. One is the bending stress and second is the direct stress. As these two stress are very, very important for you, so that there is no other way you have to practice. I hope you are all understanding of these particular steps, Amma. I don't think there is no I don't think that you are feeling difficulty regarding of this particular problem, because it is very easiest sections. Direct formula substitution. A square value is available and sigma value is available in your direct formula. We are not changing any formula here. Please observe that. Direct blind procedure, amma. This is a blind procedures you are having. Blind procedure, you can say that. Blindly you can follow. If you follow the step-by-step procedure, you get the answer. But only one cautious step is required, that is analysis of your figure. Especially for if you are trapezium section, circular section, on the particular part only we have to be taken care. On that particular part only you have to be taken care. Remaining part is just copy paste procedures. If you know the formula, your entire problem is over. You will get 14 out of 14 marks. Definitely I am giving very much strong assurance. If you follow these steps, you will get 14 marks in the examination. Step-by-step procedure. Please don't follow any all-in-ones or any some other textbooks. I mean any other materials, because in all-in-ones, already you know that they do as per their convenience in order to get the answers. So some of the students are following the all-in-one. Still we are insisting you follow the all-in-one, but refer the answers from your textbooks, or at least our material what we provided. Refer the answers from standard textbooks, so that it is easy for you. Please don't follow, please don't follow the answers in our all-in-one especially. Right? So many of the students are still they are using at the end. If you're having 1 or 2 months of the examination schedule, then immediately purchase the book of all-in-one, then simply follow the all-in-one procedures. All-in-one procedures are very, 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 somewhat what we call some of the steps are they missed in your all-in-one, because I already practically explained, especially in DMM1. While I'm teaching in section B, especially I practically explained the what are the faults or what are the wrongly publications that are in your all-in-one, especially, so that they are very much experienced in their all-in-ones regarding of all-in-ones. Right? So please try to follow the design procedure. You need to worry about all-in-ones or something like that. You please forget about all those things. Just follow the procedure, because it is already open book examination. DMMT is like an open book examination. Right? So if you know the formula, then it is over. Your entire problem is over. Right? So I hope you understand this problem. So directly we move on to the second one without wasting of time. So now we consider one circular section problem before we going for the what we call, or anyway there is another problem you are having. You please copy the, not copy, no need to copy also, because the notes is already available with you. No need to copy also, but you please observe here also. But you please observe here again. The same thing again here also. So R equal to E again for the trapezoidal section here, R equal to E, and same procedure, right? Consider cross section of AA and cross section of CC, right? So please follow the procedure what I explained here. Okay. Right. So I section we try to discuss some. Before that, very easier section we are having circular section. Very simple procedure. So that is the reason why I choose the circular section in order to understanding. So same kind of problem I already seen in your previous problem. I mean in your previous question papers, especially in JNTU. Same figure. Maybe notations are different, but the same kind of figure already in your previous batch also. In one of the sets, this question is appeared. This model of the question is appeared. So that is the reason why I selected this problem. Either they will go for trapezium section, either they will go for this kind of section. Most probably, because we are having only 5 sections. So trapezium, rectangle, circular, triangle, and so almost 4 or 5 sections we are having standard sections. That means only 5 problems we are having. Within these 5 problems, they keep on repeating. That means, so out of your 4 sets, definitely in one set you are having this particular problem, especially in curved beams. Anyway, So anyway, so please observe this figure. I hope you are observing. So you are observing this figure. So here the cross section is circular cross section. Here the cross section is a circular cross section. So I hope everyone is observing. Everyone is observing, or at least you try to observe figure 1 or 2 minutes. So what is the exploding condition and what is the distance? So please try to observe each and every point. So by next class, we try to complete of almost all sections. I mean, I already told you that this circular section and next one is an I section, and if possible, any other section also. So we almost cover each and every section. So it is your duty to practice, and I try to give your. I mean, I already provide. Okay. So I try to provide some important questions regarding of these 3 chapters. So I am already preparing. So that also you practice of those 3 chapters some. So I am concentrating on problematic point of view because it is experiencing most number of problems, but in the examination theory also very important. Please don't think that is only problematic subject. So you are having theory also. So if possible, I also mention the important 3 questions because every chapter at the beginning chapter I try and completion of the chapter I'm explaining what are the possibility of questions in theory and problematic they are asking, chance of asking the examination. So you please listen off, you please understand and be practice. So practice and practice, there is no other way. Anyway, please observe this section, the figure. So the curved member of shown in figure has a solid circular cross section. So what is the cross section here? It is a solid circular cross section, right? Right, very good. And it is 0.1 mm, 0.10 meter in diameter. 0.10 meter in diameter. Please observe that 0.10 meter in diameter. Right. With the maximum tensile and compressive stress in the members are not to exceed 150 megapascal. So here the maximum tensile stress and maximum compressive stress are explained. That is 150 megapascal and 200 megapascals. Determine the value of load P. Determine the value of load P that can safely be carried by the member. That can safely be carried by the member. So here the value P value can be calculated. We require to calculate the external load. The value P that can be safely be carried out by the member. Right. So please try to understand the difference between the previous problem and this particular problem. So I'll tell you that the problem statement may vary. The problem statement may vary, but the procedure is same. No need to worry. So the best procedure in the examination, especially this curve beams approach, is simply you direct follow. Please observe the figure. Please observe the problem statement. If it is a curved beam problems, so directly blindly follow the procedures. Write down the formulas and try to follow the procedures. Then you can observe the given data. What is the given? Because in given data, by reading of the given data, some of the students may get confused. This is also another important thing in examination. Many of the students, by reading of the given data, they feel that it is completely ununderstandable or They may, by misunderstanding of the problem, they may think that simply they leave the problem in the examination. Most of the cases it's happening, Amma. Just by reading out the given data, they simply left the problem, or leave the problem in the examination. Please don't do like that. So the best approach, if it is a curved beams, if it is a crane hook or these type of sections, write on the formula. Observe the cross section. It is a h square. Write on the h square formula. Now write on the formula for your compressed stress and tensile stress formula, sigma naught values or sigma values. That is sufficient. You will get the answer. You will get the answer. Only 2 steps required. Only 2 steps formulas are required. Right. So after observing of this particular figure, so the compressed stress and tensile stress values are given, and the diameter of the cross section is 0.10 meters, right? And the circular section is here. Please observe the cross section at the point of from M to L. So on the particular position, you are having the circular cross section. M to L. That means while you are calculating of your E value means up to the centroidal axis of your point. What the point here? Up to the point of circular section M to L. So draw a line from M to L. So identify a centroidal location. So up to the particular point you are having E value. So I hope you are understanding. Right. Anyway, so first write down the given data you are having. So diameter equal to 0.10 meters. So maximum tensile stress 150 megapascal and maximum compressed stress is 200 megapascal. Now you observe that what is the cross section here. So here the cross section is circular cross section. What is the formula for circular cross section? A equal to pi A4 d square. So one step is over directly. So area A equal to pi A4 d square. Okay, right, fine. The problem is over. First step. Second step is it is a circular cross section. Go for a square value. Second step, calculate a square value. Then you come back to the stress values, compressed stress and tensile stresses. Then full problem is over. Is there any difficulty? Is there any difficulty? Are you experiencing? Very, very easy. Just observe the cross section. That is the only thing. Observe the cross section, calculate the area and calculate the square values. Half of the problem is over. So those who are unable, even still if they're feeling difficulty, they're facing difficulty for how suppose you're writing or how supposed to solve the problems. So this is the best method, Amma. Just identify the cross section, write on the formula for A and write on the formula for H square. Your problem, half of the problem is over. So if you're unable to do even these kind of steps, Amma, so nobody can survive you in the examination especially. So observation of cross section, it is not difficult. Formula for cross section, circular cross section formula. So circular cross section formula, so pi A4 d square. So circular cross section for the area, so calculate the area B into D. And trapezium section, already know the formula, right? So likewise, you calculate. Suppose what happens if you're giving I section, I sections or T sections. Now you please split into different cross sections in rectangle blocks like what we did in your centroids A1, A2, A3. So calculate total A1, A2, A3. That is your area of cross section. See how it is very, very easy. How simple is these problems? Right? Okay, fine. Now after having the area, you need not worry about the central axis and M value, P values. You please bother about H square value first. You please bother about your H square value. Already we solved the problems in circular section. So please verify your H square formula. Please verify your H square formula in circular section. So you please remember the formula H square value. So here it is H square. This is H square. This is H square. Okay. So once if you know the value of H square, once if you know the value of H square, right, then identify the terminologies. That is the second step. Obviously, please follow the steps, Please follow the step by step procedures. write down the formula of h square, right? So I don't know how many of you are writing the formulas while I'm explaining. So I can't do anything, Amma, if you're not following. So write down the formula for h square. H square equal to d square by 16 plus 1 by 28 into d power 4 by r square. D square by 16 plus 1 by 128 into d power 4 by r square. And so on, as you know that, and so on. So here d is the diameter value is given. Now here r is the radius of curvature. What is the radius of curvature here? So distance between the center of the curvature and the centroidal axis. So you please observe the figure, Amma. If you have any doubt regarding, so here I think here it is not mentioned here in the figure. So normally from the centroidal axis means here the distance from the center of the curvature and centroidal axis. Center of curvature and centroidal axis. So that means, so you are having, you know, the distance of exactly the center circular distance, diameter is 0.1 mm. So distance is 0.05 mm. Now from the centroid, what is the distance here? 0.05 mm. So 0.05 mm plus 0.05 mm. So total 0.1 meter. So radius of curvature, right? Identification of radius of curvature is also another important thing. So that is the thing that is observed in case of your centroidal, circular section derivation. So already we solved this problem. But again, for your reference only, I'm explaining again and again. H square value we already determined. No need to explain. H square value. Only we are concentrating on resultant stress. That is the only newest part for this problem. H square value, area value already calculated in your previous sections. But for your reference only, without knowing the value, we cannot solve the problem, so that we are calculating the H square values. So substitute H square and you will get the answer is 7.031 into 10 power 4 minus 4 meter square. H square value 7.031 into 10 power minus 4 meter square. So this is the case sum. So after having of this value, as usual procedure, you can go for your direct stress values. Right? Right? So please follow step-by-step procedure. Please follow the step-by-step procedure. Then only came to know that. So what is the difficulty we are once if you are thorough with your standard cross sections, once you are thorough with your standard cross sections, so there is no issue of solving this problem. So my sincere request is, so please first observe the standard cross section problems, or first solve the problems of standard cross sections. If you are gain the knowledge of standard cross section, how to solve the problem, then you do not worry about remaining things. Direct substitution. Even if you not practice also, that is sufficient, no problem, because just only simple relation m by a into r or something relation applying. Once if you know, if you are having all the data, so why you worries? No worries. No worries. So solvation of standard cross section is important in this chapter. So you have to bother about only 5 problems in this curved beams. Standard cross sections of curved beams. If you are very careful and thorough in knowledge of these curved beams, then everything is over. Your entire problem is over. Right? I hope you get the answer. 7.031 10 power minus 4 meter square. Now you please observe the remaining figure. So here he, at the bottom of the line he mentioned the figure. Anyway, so here radius of curvature. How you get the radius of curvature means by please observe the from center of curvature. Radius of curvature, center of curvature, whatever it is, from O point to central distance. From O point to centroidal distance. That is very important. Observation is very important. So here on the particular part of central, I mean trapezium section, you're having section AA and section CC. But here you're having only M and L, diameter ML. So mention the point of M and L. At the center you are having centroidal axis. And please observe the load line. From the load line means here you are having some 0.15 meters. How you get the formula means here this is how you're supposed to get based on this figure. Based on this figure. So I'll told you that this ML will be in this location. So he draw the figure according to that, this particular figure, according to this figure. So I hope you are observing. And still if you are having any doubt means by observing this figure, I think your doubt will clarified. How to get R value and remaining values also. Now suppose if you want to calculate eccentricity. So bending moment value M equal to P into E. What is your eccentricity value, Amma? What is your eccentricity value? Anyone? At least E value. E value. You can say that what is E value by looking at the figure. By looking at the figure, please observe what is E value. So P value is there and E value. What is E value? Somebody is saying 0.25. Right. 0.25. Very good. Very good. So I hope you are following my words as stated so that it's very easy for you. Okay. These two persons are responded. No problem. Right. Once one person is typed, remaining answer same. I observe same answers again and again. There is no difference. Right. Anyway, so I hope that everyone is following. So calculate M value M equal to P into E, then directly apply in the given equation. That is sufficient. Right. So please follow the steps and try to find out the stress values. I mean, here we require to calculate only P value, your P value, then your problem is over. These are the only steps. These are the only two steps. So in the next class, we try to solve the problem of I section. So after having I section, if there is any section of triangular, any other different section, we try to cover. So that up to that point, we try to cover almost all the problems in this case of curved beams. It is your duty to practice. Okay. Right. So anyway, your patience.
Aman tanda.